Let's go ahead and bring in John Gong. He's a professor of economics at Beijing's University of International Business and Economy. John, thanks so much for joining us. So the U.S. talks about strategic competition, as we heard there. China talks about win-win cooperation. It's urging Washington to not view its relationship with Beijing as a zero-sum game. Is the way forward somewhere in the middle?
Well, I think this is two narratives, the way of talking about the relationship. But I think behind this, let's look at the more substantive issues. And I think the biggest issue right now regards the issue of Taiwan. I think this is the thing that Beijing is concerned about most. And it used to be a three-way sort of equilibrium. It's no longer anymore. I mean, look at the language contained in that official document coming from the sixth plenary session of the Communist Party Central Committee meeting. The wording is very different, and it actually concerns me a lot in the sense that there's a real chance of something's going to happen here. I think what happened is that it's the elements within Taiwan trying to break out of this equilibrium, and there are also elements in the United States want to break out of this equilibrium. And there's not much Beijing can do other than what has happening in the last few weeks regarding Taiwan is this very stern language in this contained this document. Other than that, I think there are other issues that both sides are concerned about. The United States is concerned about human rights, for example, in Xinjiang, in Hong Kong. China is concerned about the putting many companies on the entity list, the tariff issues, but all these things, I think, pale in comparison with the issue of Taiwan. If the United States government and China can come together with some kind of a consensus regarding this issue, everything else can be resolvable, I think.
Let's talk about some of the areas where the two leaders might find some middle ground for cooperation.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have already seen cooperation. For example, on the climate change, China and United States have reached an agreement, a bilateral agreement that sets a very good example for other countries getting to the climate negotiation. And I think there are also issues that can be cooperative. For example, on the Korean issue, the nuclear non-proliferation, and I think even on Iran issue, there are room for cooperation. These are the things that the two governments have interests in common. But of course, there are issues of conflict and issues of contradictions here. But these things we have to, according to China's language, have to be controlled. Control the conflicts of interest, and these things I'm pretty sure will be discussed during the two-man's meeting.
Xi and Biden have known each other for years, and no doubt their respective personalities will figure in. But talk, if you can, about some of the domestic pressures that each of them is facing or considering.
Yeah, that's a very difficult issue here. We all know the China issue has a lot of consensus sort of against China in Congress, among the think tanks in Washington, among the intelligence defense community. So that's not good. I mean, this is the political climate here in Washington that very much constrained President Biden of making some progress, making some breakthroughs regarding two countries' relationship. On the China side, I think there's also some kind of a political constraint as well. But I think it's up to the two men's wisdom. I mean, they're good friends, they're old friends going back many years, to somehow make a compromise, to make a trade-off here, so that the two countries' relationship can still be improved, while at the same time both sides will be able to deal with the political pressure respectively in each country.
A little less than 6 hours from now, that meeting scheduled to start. Professor John Gong, thank you for your